Hans Zimmer's latest film shows us the love and wonder of film music and leaves us in awe in an epic and cinematic experience. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Chandler, and welcome to the very first episode of the Cinema Corner. Today we are talking about Hans Zimmer and Friends, Diamond in the Desert, a remarkable concert film that really just shows the love of filmmaking, music scores, and all-around concert experience overall. I wanted to pick this the first episode as a way to start our journey together in this neighborhood just for the love of filmmaking and the overall aspect of film music and how it brings us all together and invokes certain emotions out of us. So, with that being said, let's get started with some general thoughts and celebrations about Hans Zimmer and the power of his music. So the overall structure of this film is more of a half concert, half documentary series where Hans is talking to various filmmakers, artists, and collaborators he's had over the years. The film itself was a limited time release, so this is going to be more of a general celebration and love of his music and just the general themes that we bring together to this. So the initial thoughts and emotions I had when watching this was the sense of wonder and human connection being expressed through the power of film, music, and visual storytelling. Also, I thought about the collaboration and community this invokes in the love of movies, film music, you name it. Just the idea of talking about our favorite stories on the big screen and just what that invokes in us. Hans Zimmer, like in his music alone, is so iconic that everybody has known it for generations. And also how it explores the concept of humanity and what it takes to be human, and how we see the world and what emotions we're processing and what concepts we're dealing with. Hans Zimmer is one of the great modern composers of this day and age, a keeper of stories that really brings a unique spark to each film he crafts for the big screen. He's composed some of the great films such as The Dark Knight trilogy, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Lion King, Gladiator, Inception, The Last Samurai, The Prince of Egypt, even the most underrated classic of them all, Muppet Treasure Island. His mark has been felt across so many films that define generations and leave us all with a sense of inspiration, awe for each sound you hear on the big screen. In this particular concert film, you see his love for the audience and how he really designs his music to really invoke emotions out of people and want to really craft a story for each score in a way that's really accessible to each person and also leaves an emotional mark for you. The cinematography in this film is very unique. It intercuts between black and white documentary style interviews of his guests to the concert performances in Dubai, to each explore the certain themes in films he has been working on that he really wanted to explore. Some aspects of the film that I really enjoyed was the time he spent introducing each member of his band and how each are own unique in their own talents from their voice or musical ability that really take different ideas and sounds to really just push you in a unique experience. His members of his band take various instruments that you may have never heard of to get a unique sound that really just puts you in the heart of it. One of my favorite instruments I heard was the electric guitar, one from Guthrie Goran, who had this Man of Steel score that I find a personal favorite of mine, just how he invokes a sense of an alien from the stars trying to find his humanity. That's just really echoed through that sound and solo he gives for the guitar for introducing Superman to the modern world. People that stand out to me are the vocalists. Lisa Gerard, I apologize if I do not get your name right. She brings a unique serenity to the voice of Gladiator when I hear it, and it's just so mesmerizing when you take it in. You have Laurie Cotter, who has a unique roar when she brings the sands of doom to life that really just hooks you into the seat right there. And of course, you got the iconic Lebo Morake, who really just takes you to the savannas of Africa when you hear the Lion King score that just makes you smile and have a great time. Also, the use of sound stages brings unique concert performances to life. You've got the sands of doom, the roar of Gotham City of the Dark Knight trilogy. You got the peaceful serenity of Roman Colosseum and Gladiator. All those and more to really you have unique experiences from each of his pieces to really take in and just be in awe and breathtaking how it is. One such soundstage was the piece of Interstellar that really takes you to the transcendent void of space with lights and sounds that are both eerie, haunting, but also mesmerizing and beautiful at the same time. It's really just leaves you with a certain transcendent experience that's really hard to describe in words, but once you experience it, it's just wow. Also, one favorite aspect of it was the score of The Lion King, where Hans said it was like a tribute to his father. His father died when he was very young, and he said he never really dealt with it until he was given the job on Lion King. So he went all out to really invoke that love of fathers, sons, and their children in the story, but also how he imparts his relationship with his own father to himself, and then also to pass it on to his kids. But as you say, when you really feel the strong emotions when you watch The Lion King, especially, and spoiler alert, Mufasa dies, you can thank Hans Zimmer for that and how that he really put all of his heart and soul into really explore that relationship he had with his dad and how he wants to really deal with it in his music. Other aspects of the plot are the interviews. The favorite conversations that I remember that stuck out to me were the ones he had with Pharrell Williams and Christopher Nolan about the topics he was tackling in his films and how he really wanted to invoke these stories to come to life. I think it was Pharrell Williams, if I remember correctly, that really inspired him to get out on the road, to go from behind the scenes in the film studio itself to where you're not really out in public as much, to really just showcase the love and craft of his talents to the general public and around the world. Another aspect of it is how his music really transcends generations. In his conversation with Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, and Billie Eilish, you see how there's both room for everybody, from young to old, you name it. Music has the way to bring us together, especially film music. When you watch these sounds, when you hear these sounds on the big screen, it invokes a primal emotion out of all of us, it seems, regardless of age, that we can all connect to and just bond over. That was always impressive to see. Overall, I can keep singing its praises all live long day, but however, there are a trade-off, so let's get into that. Like I said, the only trade-off in this case, it was such a limited experience that you can't really see it. There's yet to be any streaming release just yet. So the best I suggest I can say is when you watch, you can watch these clips on YouTube, the concert overall. But the best remedy to that solution is definitely listen to his music and just try to imagine yourself in each of these environments when you hear these scores. That's the best remedy to that. Overall, this film is such an engaging cinematic experience. It's a full 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend if you get a chance to watch it, or just listen to Hans Zimmer's music. You will not be disappointed. Thank you for joining today for the very first episode of the Cinema Corner. I look forward to future episodes and talking to you further. Please like and subscribe and leave your comments down below about your favorite films, favorite music. I want to hear all about it. Thank you for joining today and look forward to seeing you soon.